Hi, welcome to your video online lesson tutorial. This is so that you can practice at home and know how to practice when you're not having lessons at school. Your practice should always be structured in a certain way so that you remember how to do it every time. That's what we call a routine. The first thing you want to do when you're practicing at home is to set up your equipment. All of this should take you 5 minutes, no more. So try to practice to do it quickly. Now for percussion, we need to set up several things. Number one, we need to set up and attach our drum pad to our drum stand. Make sure you put your book on a music stand or somewhere that you can see to read it. Lastly, make sure to get your sticks ready. Second thing, spend another 5 minutes doing some warm-ups. Warm-ups can be anything you like. You can just play random things on the drums with your sticks to get your wrists moving with the sticks in your hand. You might also like to play some of the songs that you already know how to play for some fun. Done. Next, you want to spend about 5 minutes again doing some technical exercises. Some technical exercises you might like to try if you're not too sure which ones to do are single stroke rolls, paradiddles, faster, flams, side, switch sides, keep switching sides, that's harder, try that. And multiple bounce strokes, which are also called buzz rolls. Trying it faster. Let's try some short buzzes. Lastly, you want to spend between 5 to 15 minutes working on your performance songs, your pieces that you are currently learning that you can't already do. That's what's going to make up most of your practice, because practice is mostly about learning to do things that you can't already do. Otherwise, you're just playing. You should always aim to try and practice between 20 to 30 minutes when you're not a beginner, so that you can learn to improve over the week for your next lesson. I suggest 5 days a week to be the minimum amount of days to practice for 20 to 30 minutes to make sure you get better. If you do more, that's fine. If you do less, that's okay, but you won't be able to learn as much as what you could have. Just try not to do zero practice, because then you won't learn anything new and you wouldn't have gotten any better at all. Performance pieces should be from your Tradition of Excellence book that we got up to most recently, the ones that are harder to do. Remember when you try the pieces in your Tradition of Excellence book, that you can play along with them with the music if you make sure you download the IPS software, which is at the back of the book. It tells you how to download it from the internet. So if you haven't got it already, you can ask someone at home to help you. Remember, you've got to put the special code in that's at the back of your book, that's printed out in black. That's your very special code so that you get access to all the music. I'm not going to play any of that during the video because you might be playing something different to what I might play. I don't want to confuse you, but just make sure you pick the things that you're working on. Some things to remember when you practice your pieces is to not just play them all the way through from start to finish. So you won't want to play it with the music to start off with because you won't know how to play it correctly yet. When you're playing pieces that you don't already know or that are hard, you need to practice them in very small sections, or what's called chunking practice. And chunking practice is when you just practice little bits at a time. So you might just practice 1 bar, or you might practice 2 bars at a time. And then when you practice them, you do them very slowly so you can try and get the counting and the rhythms right. When you play them once, you then do it again, and then you do it again, and again, and again, and again. And that's what's called chunking practice, practicing the same thing over and over again until you get really, really good at it, so that the next time you go to play it in a different day on practice, you'll be so good at it, you won't have to practice it again. And if you keep doing that with different bars or different parts of the music, eventually you'll finally get to the end of doing all the chunking from start to finish, and you'll have the whole piece together. That's when you can do it with the music playing. So remember to use chunking practice to learn your new pieces, the harder ones, so that you can learn to do them very well. And that's it. That's your online video lesson. I hope this has been helpful for you to be able to help practice at home or even at school while we don't have any lessons going on. See you next time.